This is Jason Arday. He was a Cambridge academic who took his life on Friday, and that did not need to happen. Why did he take his life? Because the media persecuted him viciously, incessantly, indefatigably, going after this man because there were allegations of plagiarism in his work and there were discrepancies in his academic record. And it was too much for Jason Arday, so he took his life. It was, of course, a white man, Nathan Coffness, who became so hell-bent on persecuting Jason Arday that it was almost a full-time job for him. It's also no coincidence that Coffness is a eugenicist. Coffness was fired by Ghent University after publishing a completely bogus blog post arguing that black people were intellectually inferior to white people. And presumably this bespectacled monster, who bears a striking similarity to Heinrich Himmler, absolutely delighted in Jason Arday ending his life, because that was probably his end game all along. But this begs the question of why compassion is so absent in our society, why we can't actually forgive people for their transgressions or their mistakes. Anyone who becomes a main character on social media, and I have been that main character, is held to a ridiculous level of scrutiny. Because here's the thing. Every human being makes mistakes. Every single human being makes mistakes. And if they're not an outright hate merchant, if they haven't murdered anyone, if they haven't committed serious wrongdoing, and they're doing the work to reclaim their lives, they're going to make mistakes on the road to rehabilitation. And Jason Arday, being a black man, was held to an even higher level of scrutiny than anybody else as he was trying to get his life together, and he was mercilessly hounded by the press and this repulsive, hateful motherfucker. I know the world is a very difficult place. I know that everybody is hungry for the latest gossip. But what you never see when you decide to pile onto someone for the lulz is the turmoil that people experience from the other side of the monitor. And nobody wants to take accountability. Here is Eric Lipton of the New York Times saying, "What a terribly sad outcome. Social media plays a major role." No, buddy. It was you. It was the New York Times that published this hit piece on Jason Arday a week before he took his life. Failure of media to look into the mirror and ask themselves the hard question of, is it worth it devoting a shitload of coverage to tearing down someone's career? That's the real question that needs to be asked, if we're a decent society. But I don't think we are. If Jason Arday had lived, he probably would have fixed himself and done some great work. But no, the media was too concerned with rage bait. How dare they?